Hi folks, it's Derek from ForeGolf Custom, and if you're that golfer that's looking for a higher flight iron that's as easy to hit as a hybrid, you're going to check out our review of the new Ping G700 iron. Hi there, my name is Derek Murray of ForeGolf Custom, and I'm an independent club fitter and club maker based here just outside Dublin in Ireland. I'm going to share with you some of my knowledge of fitting all different types of golfers over the last 20 years and share with you some of the insights that I have on the different brands and clubs and how they perform for the different golfers. I've written magazine articles, I've worked for the PGA of Canada, and basically there's nobody better placed to advise you about what type of club will suit you and your game. So let's quickly talk you through some of the tech in this new iron. The new high COR iron set means it's uber forgiving on off-centre hits, which comes from the new C300 maraging steel face that's inserted into the 17.4 stainless steel body. This hollow-bodied construction or cavity then allows for the increase of face flexing, allows the face to flex into it, which then allows for this really high ball speed from the face over any other Ping product, and then it produces this much higher launch angle that we spoke about. There's an extreme perimeter weighting which comes from all Ping product, which is how the weighting is constructed, and then this increased forgiveness tuning port allows to customize it for swing weight and other weight properties. This iron is all about high towering ball flight. I've got some information on the right type of shaft and how to apply it, and also based on the fittings, who we've seen getting the best results from this product. So I'm going to grab Dave, we'll fire up TrackMan 4, hit some shots on the range, and I'll show you some of the numbers up on iPad so we can get a better handle on how this iron works. So we're going to go through the G700 iron. A lot of the information we're going to talk about today is about fittings. There's a lot of reviews out there online, a lot of people tested it, but this test isn't relevant to Dave. I'm just using Dave as a test subject so we can use the information to demonstrate what's happening. But all our fittings and all our information that we have on the club is based around the consumer, the people that we see here. So we've had it for about a month now, and so I'm going to give you some breakdown information on the difference of the head makes and the difference of shafts of make. So the key element here is the design of the head. They've hollowed out the inner construction, so it is look like a cavity backed iron, but it filled in the back. And the key thing to watch here is the launch angle in terms of how it launches. So you'll see here the launch angle here on the face. And that's the key thing to remember, is that it launches high. Another few things that I've noticed about are the lofts on the club as well. They're set very strong, but that's done for a reason, because if we launch it very high and we keep the loft up or lofted on the club, everything's going to spin, everything's going to go too high. So they've had to strengthen out some of the lofts in order to manage it with the actual way that the head is designed. So that's totally acceptable in terms of the way that the club is designed. So Dave's one of my fellow fitters here. He does most of the fittings. I do a few, Dave does a few, and then we kind of collaborate on the information. So what have you seen last couple of weeks on this?
I guess when it first arrived, it was working out what it is and how it fits in, but
yeah. That's actually a good point, because of it's a new part to the Ping lineup, so we did take a while to stuff to figure it out.
And in theory, a new part of the industry more than anything else, because I guess what Ping have done really well is they've actually disguised the hybrid club into an iron shell. So I guess you're going to ask me who uses this. I guess this is the type of person who is a genuinely good hybrids and woods player and really struggles with irons. It's
interesting because I spoke to Marty, who's the director of because I struggle with it as well. I'm trying to figure out where does it fit in. So I reached out to Marty and Ping, and I said to him, where did the idea come from? Because where did this thing spawn from? And he said it was crossover. So they had a lot of requests from consumers about that bought crossover and said, look, this hybrid's really easy to hit. How can I get a set of these? And he went back to the table and they spoke to a few of the boys in design, and they said, can we make an iron? Can we make a hybrid iron? But obviously, you couldn't make a hybrid iron, could you? Because the wedge would be almost impossible to shape. It'd be too big, be too fat looking behind the ball. So they've taken, I guess, design aspects of the crossover and made an iron out of it, which I think is pretty cool.
So, as much as it looks overly complicated, the end result is quite simple.
Well, the simplicity of it is the maraging face flexes. Mm-hmm. And so it flexes against the top edge. Yeah. So if in terms of the head itself, because it flexes in here behind this, so the face flexes in, and the ball flight launches.
Yeah, because it's way back in that bottom corner as well. Is that right?
Because everything is low down. Well, as it sets up, and as you see, the biggest weight chamber is at the bottom here. Now you've seen that because you've seen the way that the ball flies. And obviously where the weight is points at the ball, so that means the ball launches higher. It's why I said earlier on about the lofts being stronger. You have to.
Absolutely.
So the design itself then, in terms of the shaping, how have you seen it best applied to the different players?
I guess you have two fundamentals, and they tend to be Ping fundamentals. Is if you are a guy who struggles to get the ball in the air, great product.
Important to note, high flight.
And then on a secondary level, now this is pretty much all Pings going forward. It's a nice big offset in the head.
Yeah.
So if you've got that anyway, a little bit of miss right, as so many of us do, then it's really good for just keeping the ball flight nice and straight. So high launching, straight hitting, compression off the face, as good as Ping can produce. So not a distance story, not a speed story.
But it's as easy to hit as G400 just with a higher launch.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think there's a little bit more speed out of it. We saw a couple of miles an hour, but I didn't think that was the main focal point here. Focal point here is the height of the ball. If that's the case, then shaft-wise, I've done a good bit of graphite in this.
Yeah.
What have you seen?
And the only other thing I've done other than graphite's lightweight steel. Because if it's going to be a get it in the air, get it up there, keep it up there, you're going to have plenty of softness in the tip section of the shaft, which is graphite, XP95.
That works well.
Is the other one in the Ping. And then if you get a slightly stronger hitter, you might go to their AWT or Nippon, but after that, that's pretty much
Nippon
it.
do that modus in a 105 as well. Will that basically you want something that's going to work with the head, though.
Yeah. There's no point having a head designed to get it airborne.
And swing speed wise, what have you seen on this?
It tends to be more of the slower player. It tends to be maybe somewhere from 70s up to 80s, that type of product. You can't generate the speed to get it airborne themselves, so that's where the weighting of the product works, and that's how it gets itself airborne. The
lofts, I said to you earlier on that they were stronger.
Yeah.
And I've noticed this because when you launch the ball very high, if you kept the loft normal, as it would be in a normal line, you'd get this height with height, which means you wouldn't get any kind of flight or forward flight.
Yeah.
So they've strengthened the lofts, but there is a power spec setting. Have you used that at all?
To be honest, the person that buys this needs to get it in the air.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really need the power setting because it's already strong enough when he needs it airborne. He doesn't want it flat and falling out of the sky. That person doesn't buy that product.
Yeah. So folks, that's pretty much it. That's a breakdown of the G700. So key takeaway points: if you need to get the ball in the air, if you're looking for more flight, this is an iron to consider. And also shaft, keep the shaft lightweight, keep it soft, keep it flexing, because again, these characteristics help to get the ball into the air. And we've other videos that are coming out, and we've certainly more on the platform. So probably the best way for you to keep in touch with us or to see what we have is to subscribe to the channel. Where would we subscribe, Dave?
Oh jeez, not again. Down there.